Look at the salad in your refrigerator right now. Go ahead. Actually think about it for a second. Where did it come from? Not just the grocery store you picked it up at. What farm? In what region? What water was used to grow it? What water was used to process it before it was bagged up? Most of us have never once asked these questions because we've never had a reason to. As of this month, over 1,600 people across this country now have a very specific reason to. There's a multi-state outbreak happening right now tied to a parasite most people have never heard of called Cyclospora. It's been linked to iceberg lettuce supplied by one of the largest produce companies in the country and served at major restaurant chains. And the investigation is still unfolding. Here's what makes this different from ordinary food poisoning. This organism won't make you sick for 7 to 14 days after exposure, long enough that by the time your body tells you something's wrong, you've already eaten the same product several more times without knowing it was ever contaminated. By the time symptoms appear, you've had a week to re-expose yourself repeatedly. That's the cascade effect nobody talks about. My name is Dr. Sarah Chen. For the last 18 years, I've worked specifically with adults over 60, studying how illnesses progress differently in this population than they do for younger people. And if there's one thing I want this channel to be, it's the place you come to get the calm, accurate version of a story like this. Not panicked, not dismissive, just what's actually true, translated into what you can do about it. Quick disclaimer, this isn't medical advice. It's education designed to help you have better conversations with your own physician. I've organized today's information into 6 areas, built in order so each sets up the next. But before we get there, I want to address something directly. Most of you probably came here asking about natural remedies. Do turmeric, garlic, neem, or wormwood actually work for Cyclospora? I'm going to be honest about what the research shows and what it doesn't, and why that distinction matters for someone over 60. There's something even more important though. The final section connects this outbreak to a much bigger question about water and infrastructure, one that's becoming more relevant, not less, regardless of this outbreak. Stay with me through all 6 areas. The last one lands differently once you have the foundation the first 5 provide. If this is useful, go ahead and subscribe now. It genuinely helps this channel keep bringing calm, accurate information to people who'd rather understand a situation than be frightened by headlines. Now let's get into it. Before I explain what's actually happening with your body, I need to establish one framework. Without it, this outbreak feels random and chaotic. With it, it's entirely logical and predictable. First principle, centralized production compresses risk. A single farm, processing facility, or distribution hub can supply thousands of stores and restaurants across dozens of states simultaneously. One contamination event doesn't stay local. It moves at the speed of refrigerated trucks. Modern food distribution has created a system where one point of failure becomes a multi-state event. Second principle, produce skips the safety step. Other foods. Get when you cook meat or fish, heat kills pathogens. Raw salad, greens, herbs, and uncooked vegetables skip that processing step entirely. Whatever's on the surface goes directly into your body. There's no built-in kill step like there is for other foods. Third principle, the actual contamination point isn't what you think. This is what most reporting leaves out. The contamination is very often not the vegetable itself. It's the water upstream, irrigation water used to grow the crop, processing water used before that lettuce was ever shredded into a bag. That's where the problem originates. Here's how it cascades when all 3 principles align. Stage 1, silent contamination. Somewhere upstream, maybe a farm in Mexico, maybe an irrigation system that hasn't been inspected in years, water becomes contaminated with a parasite nobody can see. The water looks clean, it smells clean, it tests clean initially, but the contamination is there. Stage 2, invisible spread. That contaminated water touches produce, lettuce, spinach, herbs. The produce looks perfect. It's washed, packaged, shipped across state lines in refrigerated trucks. By the time it reaches your grocery store, it's been in contact with that water for hours or days. The contamination isn't on the surface where washing helps. It's embedded into the leaf structure itself, invisible, undetectable by any consumer. Stage 3, distributed, across multiple states. The produce reaches restaurants and grocery stores across multiple states before anyone notices anything unusual. Thousands of packages distributed before the first symptoms appear. Stage 4, the delayed discovery. 1 to 2 weeks pass. Health departments start seeing a pattern, people in different states getting the same illness with no obvious connection. Investigators trace backward. They find the common source. They issue a recall. But by this point, the contaminated product has already spread to dozens of states and potentially millions of servings. One point of failure, one contaminated water source, creates a footprint across an entire country. Keep this framework in mind. It explains everything about how modern outbreaks actually work. It's the thread connecting all 6 areas today. This is not a new problem. It's one of the oldest, most well-documented patterns in public health. In 1854, a physician named John Snow made history, not by inventing a cure, by drawing a map. When a cholera outbreak killed hundreds in a London neighborhood, most doctors believed disease spread through air. They called it miasma. Snow did something different. He plotted every single death and traced them to one source, a water pump on Broad Street contaminated by sewage upstream. He didn't treat the victims. He didn't prescribe remedies. He removed the pump handle. The outbreak stopped. That same investigative principle, trace it to the source, eliminate the upstream contamination, is being used right now to track this Cyclospora outbreak back to its water-related origin. 170 years later, the method is the same. The vulnerability is the same. The solution is still upstream prevention. You've probably felt at some point during this video, maybe when you looked at that lettuce, maybe when you thought about your refrigerator, a flicker of real uncertainty about something as basic as eating a salad. That's a reasonable reaction to an active outbreak. Maybe even some anxiety about what's in your fridge right now. And I don't want to minimize that feeling. It's real, it makes sense, but here's what's also true right now. The surveillance systems designed to catch outbreaks like this one are actually working. Cases got reported, a pattern got noticed across multiple states. Investigators traced it to a shared source. A major supplier acted quickly, recalling product across dozens of states. Is the system perfect? No. Are there gaps? Absolutely. Should water testing be more consistent across the agricultural supply chain? Yes. But right now, the system is functioning. It's doing the difficult, unglamorous work it exists to do. Both things are true. The system has real gaps, and the system is catching these outbreaks. You're not powerless here. You're not behind the information curve, and you're not past the point where this matters. You have the right to understand what's known, what isn't yet confirmed, and what specific practical steps actually reduce your risk. Not vague reassurance, not exaggerated fear, just clarity. Start today. Check whether anything currently in your refrigerator is part of the active recall using the FDA or CDC website. That's genuinely all it takes to begin. If this gave you something useful, and I genuinely hope it did, subscribe. That's what this channel is built for: calm, real, science-based guidance without the extremes in either direction. Check the description for the free longevity guide for adults over 60. It's structured, practical, and yours at no cost. I'll see you in the next one.